Hey everyone, this is going to be another gameplay Splinter Blacklist. This time I am doing Spies vs Mercenaries Classic. So no custom classes, just basic spy versus basic merc. As a spy, you get EMP grenades, flashbang grenades, and only night vision, which certainly makes it a lot harder than thermal. Starting off the game here, I'm going to go ahead and hack the C terminal, and I'm going to go into one of my favorite hiding spots on this map as a spy, and it is right on the top of these stairs. The reasons why I like this is because, as you can see, you're well protected from that wall in front of you. The only places that they can really shoot you on this is if they come up right below you, in which case you can just jump right over the railing and get to safety, or they can try to shoot you from the building on the right and the building on the left, in which case you can drop down and run away. If somebody comes down below and they're not paying attention, you just jump down around the top of them and kill them. So this is another random teammate. He seems at this point to basically know what I'm trying to do, and it's just hide here on the railing and not move. So what he's going to do is he's going to try to back me up best he can. Now the mercenaries, they're just shooting around in random places trying to see where we are. Trying to get a couple lucky hits, maybe a hit marker or two so they know where we are. And it's not working. They still haven't found us, and we are at 3/4 of the way there. By this point, I'd say that we have a pretty good chance, so I'm not going to go ahead and start running around. I'm just going to stay here, just stay safe. My teammate, he does feel a little bit cocky, so he's going to go out and try to shoot him with the stun dart. And we capture C. So after this, my goal is to extract as soon as possible, so I'm going to go ahead, run out, jump out of this back window. Chances are they're not going to be in this route. They're mostly going to be, around the terminal, heading towards B or A. So my teammate gets taken down because he stayed and he decided to fight, and I'm going to head towards terminal A. Now in this game, I'm not really sprinting that much. That's mostly because I want to stay nice and slow. I want to be patient with my movements, and also, again, Blacklist does this weird thing where for me, I have to hit shift every time I'm done running around if I don't want to automatically climb up walls and stuff like that. So that's just one additive measure that I have. So I see him, he's planting down a mine, doing something, I stun him, and I go to attack him. Something weird happened there. You can see that I constantly tap E whenever I'm near an enemy, just so I can make sure that I get the assassination as quickly as possible. But with that, I was by the terminal, so instead of assassinating him right away, I kept on trying to hack it a billion times. So I kill him, I decide to start hacking terminal A, and I'm taking cover. Now, I don't really have a specific area in mind whenever I do this. I usually go up around the second floor like I'm doing right now, or I try to go into the library that you see on your right, and you're going to see in this game a little technique that I use, much like I did in the previous video, where, I jump to one side if I see him come into the room, and if I see him go around to the other side, I climb back over. That sort of thing. My teammate gets taken down, so obviously they know that they're looking for me now. I see this guy, he's coming right towards me. There's no way I can get away from that. He sees me, he starts shooting, so I decide, I'm going to jump down. He decides he's going to jump down, and I can climb right back up. Because spies have the ability to go up. Mercs do not. So he comes back up, sees me in the same exact spot, and by this time, I know same trick's not going to work. It's fight or flight. Can't really run because he's going to shoot me down, so I decide I'm just going to charge him. That doesn't work. This is where I get a little frustrated with my teammate, because as you can see, the enemy team is currently preoccupied. They can't kill him, so instead of hacking, he instead stays in the shadows, tries to be safe. and this is something that I think is somewhat of a problem, is when the hacker goes down and the team, or excuse me, the mercenaries are dead or preoccupied, the team will not try to rehack a lot of times. And that is a problem. You know, as spies or as mercs, you know, the objective is your number one priority. It's not getting kills, it's not going around being all sneaky and, you know, trying to look awesome. It's about winning. So I go ahead, rehack the terminal, and I come up, and this is the hiding spot I'm talking about. I'm going to sit up here for a while, and you're going to see him come into this little room. And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to jump right back down on the other side so he doesn't see me. So my teammate is trying to do the best he can to try and get a kill or two, but that doesn't work, and he gets gunned down. So now, again, they know they're looking for me. There we go. Jumped right down, evaded him. Now I never turn my night vision off when I'm going through these maps. Some people do it, I guess, for visuals, or maybe they want to see if they're in shadows. But personally, I like to keep my night vision on so that I can clearly see their lights and their flashlights, because mercenaries don't really like to turn off their flashlights a lot. In this game, I don't turn my flashlight off. I don't think ever. Maybe a couple times. But now I've started to get into the habit of turning my flashlight off when I can, so that the spies do not know when I'm coming. So I have an extra second or two to get myself into a better position to take them out. Take out the spies, that is. So I'm climbing up here, and I'm expecting a mercenary to come up the stairs, and I was preparing to just jump right on top and go right back into that room, but that never happened. So now it's time to go for B. They know that our only objective now is to go for B, so they're probably going to be moving on their way towards B. I should have stunned around at that merc, and I meant to go after him, but again, the controls are a little weird when it comes to mouse and keyboard. And as you can see, I was in that sprint mode, I guess you could call it, and when I wanted to turn left, I just ended up climbing right back up. So I creep around the corner, I see him there, and this is a big mistake of mine. Not my fault, actually. Because again, the controls, I meant to get off the wall and run back into the building, but what happened was I ended up climbing right back up onto that arch. But I guess it wasn't that bad, because it gave my teammate the chance to go ahead and kill the enemy mercenary. So here I am, I'm trying to be sneaky, and up ahead you're going to see me run into a merc. And this is where I decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and charge him. There's no way I would survive if I just ran away. He'd probably just chase me around the corner and gun me down. So I get off a lucky shot with my stun gun, and I kill him. Now as I'm going throughout the game, I'm constantly listening for the little beats of the trip mines, and because of the little beep, I was able to identify that there's a trip mine there. I threw an EMP grenade, destroyed it. Same scenario here. I can hear an EMP grenade around, but I can't quite see it exactly. So I just throw an EMP grenade. Thankfully, the mine was in the vicinity. It's destroyed. This is another example. I jump down, stun him, and I'm sitting there furiously tapping E. But somehow the game just wants me to continuously try to hack it instead of taking out the mercenary. This is another secret hiding spot. I wouldn't call it a secret. A lot of people use it. A lot of people look for it, but not most. And that is in this little closet area, right on B. It's very nice because they don't usually, a lot of mercenaries overlook it when they're searching the building. You're gonna see this constantly. You know, they're gonna walk past me, they're gonna walk towards me and then turn away, things of that nature. I guess I could attribute it to my teammate running around. But when my teammate dies and they're looking just solely for me, they're gonna miss me a lot. And The only way that you can really get me is if they throw a grenade or if he hugs that right wall, which if he's not expecting me to be there, he's not going to do. He may throw a grenade, in which case I could just jump right down in that hole. Now, as a spy and you're running around and you're doing all these things, positioning means a lot in this game, especially this game type, because you don't have the ghost camouflage, you don't have any of the fancy stuff that you could get in Spies vs. Mercenaries Blacklist. It's classic, so positioning is critical. This is why when you're hiding from the mercenaries, you're hacking all these terminals, you're doing all this stuff, you want to constantly look for a place that, one, allows you an exit, and two, allows the enemy to clearly go into your vicinity and not be able to see you. For example, when you saw me hacking, I believe it was A terminal, when I was in that room, I jumped on top, saw him come into the other room. All I needed to do was just jump on the other side. I could have hidden that room and behind a desk or something and prayed that he wouldn't see me, but that does not allow me for an active escape route. And again, in that little room in B, if you want to go ahead and threw a grenade in that little room, I could just jump down that hole. I had an escape planned out. And over in C, when I was on those stairs, if he came up from bottom and he started shooting at me, I just jump on top and escape. If he starts shooting me from the buildings across the map, I just jump down and escape. So as you can see, we got all three terminals. We basically won the round. So now it's time for me to play as mercenaries. And as a mercenary, the one thing that you always want to use is your trip mines, because I always look for them, but not every spy looks for proximity mines. And you're going to find that you're going to get a lot of kills, maybe not every single time, but you will get a lot if you put proximity mines near the objective, because a lot of time people are just so hung up on, oh my god, there are no mercenaries around, I'm just going to go run in there, hack the objective, and run away, that they just run right into a trip mine, you get a free kill. So maybe the other spy was just frustrated, maybe he lagged out, I don't know. So now it's 2v1, mercenaries versus spy. And he decides, he's not going to mess around with A, he's just going to go straight to C. He's going to hack where the enemy is not. So here I am, I'm running towards objective C, and I'm going down this alley because it doesn't really give the spies that much of a place of attack. You got that little ledge up above, but that's really it. Other than that, it's a nice little bottleneck. If they get you with a stun round, you can just back up and engage them when you're back up and running again. So I see him sitting on the corner, and this is another example, I guess. Maybe the controls weren't working. Maybe he wanted to go and jump up and just wasn't letting him. But I get the kill. Hack prevented. Telling my teammate to go ahead and plant a proximity mine down at C, because like I said, proximity mines are very important in this game mode. If you have, say, a proximity mine down at B and A, and your teammate puts down a proximity mine at C, and both of you are guarding A, if one of you, doesn't matter which one, if one of you gets a gadget destroyed or equipment destroyed, you immediately know where it is, because if it's yours, they're at B. If it's his, they're at C. Very simple. So I'm going to go ahead, start laying down my proximity mines again, and they hack C. So I'm moving my way over. Now in between them hacking the objective and me going to try and take them out, you're going to see me just walking. I'm not really sprinting a lot, I'm just walking. And that's because if you turn your volume up enough and you have good enough headphones or speakers, you can hear the enemy movements. Spies really aren't going to sit there and try to creep up next to a mercenary, really. They're usually going to try to, gun it and sprint right for you just so they can get that nice quick kill. So if you're walking around, you can hear the footsteps behind you, and that could give you the 1 second that you need to go ahead and engage and take them out. And this is a classic example. I planted down a proximity mine on B. He wasn't looking. He was probably rushing to get the objective. I get a kill. So here I am moving over to B. My guess is they're going to try forward again. And I'm just trying to check the bushes. I believed that at the time I thought that this was their spawn, so I was going to try to get a few sneaky spawn kills, but I think Ubisoft or the game developers were a little bit smarter with their spawn choices, that they wouldn't just plop a spy right in front of me to kill immediately after he spawns in.
Terminal A, kill the hostile.
So I see my teammate get taken out, and I decided I'm just going to go ahead, run, try to kill him. It turns out to be the hacker.
Nice.
Now, one thing you can do as a spy in that situation is, I guess you could say it's what Ollie did, but more of a coordinated effort. Like when my teammate got killed and the spy starts running away, as soon as I turned and started to engage, his teammate could come right up behind me and kill me easily because I'm so distracted. And that's a tactic if you're playing with a friend or somebody you know or somebody that you're communicating very well with online. That's something that you can use. Say, hey, I'm going to take this guy out, he's going to chase me, come up behind him and take him out. Kill him. I'm going to go ahead and blame that on bad controls, not really the fact that he wasn't paying attention, because if he was using either night vision or just if he had it off, you could easily see my beam of light, and I feel as if he was trying to get up or get down and just was not responding the way he wanted to, which is a situation that I've been in many times. It's very understandable. So my idea is I'm going to go ahead and plant down my next proximity mine at B, because I already got one down at A, and I see gadget destroyed. I know they're going for A, so I go ahead and try to tell my teammate. And this is something that doesn't really click with me, or I don't really quite understand. Teammates and people in this game generally just do not like to communicate. There have been many times when I've typed something in the chat and there have been no responses, nothing of the sort. So if you ever watch this video and you play Blacklist, communicate. You know, even if nobody's listening, try to go ahead and type in something that could help your team out, because in the off chance that they do read it and they do take your advice, it could be the game-winning kill or the game-winning deny. And this is a classic example. See, I heard that thud. I knew somebody was behind me. I knew he was either up above or he was down below. So I'm going to go ahead, jump down below, and this is the thud I heard. The KL. He must have jumped down and waited for me. Now I want to talk a little bit about the stun dart. It's a very useful tool, and you can incapacitate and disable a mercenary for a good 4 or 5 seconds. While he's stunned, you can run up and knife him, so it's one less mercenary you have to worry about. You know, he has to wait that entire time to spawn back in, run back to you to try and kill you, and by that time you've moved out of the area. But if you miss, that tells the mercenary exactly where you are. Well, not exactly, but it gives you a very general direction, which in most cases is he turns in that direction, he sees the little black figure with the spy, and he kills you. So we weren't able to shut him out completely, which is unfortunate, but I see him going for B. I chase him in here, and I'm very cautious, because normally people will do that kind of a bait technique where they'll run at you, they'll know that they're being chased, and they'll just sit there on the side of the door and wait for you to run through the doorway so you can knife you. This guy runs into the area that I was talking about.
There's a minute left. We got this.
And like I was saying, although I knew he was in that little corner, I couldn't really just run in there and try to kill him, because if I just ran in there and tried to kill him, he could have easily just sat there and rapidly pressed E, and I could have gotten assassinated. If I only had a grenade, which is what I tried to do. If I had a grenade and threw it in there, he could have easily just jumped down and ran away. Now, granted, he couldn't have gotten far because, you know, it's 2 versus 1, but there's still a chance for escape. So as I'm heading up these stairs, I decide to turn my light off because although he can use his night vision to see me, I don't want the beam of my flashlight, or my tactical flashlight, to give the fact that I'm actually heading towards those stairs away. I want it to be as soon as I pass that little threshold and I get into his line of sight, that's how he knows I'm there. Not I'm 50 feet away and he sees my beam of light. So, go ahead and we win this round, and that's it. Thank you for watching.